Within the world of FPS, there have been countless games in the past 3 years trying to take the #1 spot that will either be the next big battle royale or finally break us free from it. The list is endless. And so with that being said, 3 years later, something finally happened. A new game that was born completely out of the ashes of a development team some of us have never even heard of before. The release of the finals. One can describe this glorious creation of a game as if the Battlefield and Apex Legends had a baby. Which is funny since the CEO of Embark Studios is this guy, Patrick Soderlund, who was also, interestingly enough, the CEO of DICE, the studio that actually made Battlefield. He was also the executive vice president at EA, and EA owns Respawn, and Respawn made Apex Legends. So it is definitely safe to say that there are hints of passion and creativity from amazing FPSs within the finals. And what blows my mind is the fact that this was only the open beta for the game, and it managed to surpass 7 million players during the time period of the open beta being available to play. So it is extremely clear that this game has some massive potential. And for those of us that have actually played this game, I'm sure we can all agree on the fact that we want to see its success. But when is it going to release? There is so much speculation going on in the community right now of the release dates being anywhere in December. If we dial that down to a more specific time period, it could be anytime before the 25th as a quote-unquote Christmas gift. But more specifically than that, December the 7th. Reason being is because this is the date of none other than the annual Game Awards. The Game Awards is the perfect time to release an absolute gem such as the finals. There will be a plethora of people watching, major potential investors, content creators. Could you imagine what an absolute cesspool of dopamine would be released if the launch of the finals got announced here? You see, Embark Studios has been talking with their investors, one of them being Nexon, massive shareholders within Embark Studios. We are just weeks away from the commercial release of the finals. This is the first title from our Embark Studios in Stockholm, Sweden, and the first in a series of games aimed directly at expanding Nexon's global footprint in Europe and North America. This is from a transcript from Nexon's earnings call, which is extremely significant since they're pumping money into the production of the finals. For Embark Studios to not release it with the amount of hype that it currently has is absolutely and completely ludicrous. The FPS scene has been deprived for years and years on end, with everything just becoming a microtransaction hell.
Hello, I like money.
What inspired you?
Money!
Call of Duty just recolors its games every single year. It's the same thing. Apex Legends has failed to hold retention due to the lack of content and terrible skill-based matchmaking. Destiny 2, get this, only allows you to actually have fun unless you pumped hundreds upon hundreds of dollars into the game for a DLC. And when you finally get the DLC, there are still certain activities that you need to pay for. Fortnite is, well, Fortnite. Overwatch 2 completely flopped, and not to mention, one of the most anticipated online FPS games of 2023 wasn't even that great. Thanks, Valve, for the CS2 recolor with a few minor changes. But holy shit, the finals? Where have you been all this time? But even more weirdly than all of that, the marketing for the finals feels oddly similar to the launch and marketing of Apex Legends. With minimal amounts of marketing, the finals got over 7.5 million downloads worldwide. The feedback was overwhelmingly positive. The finals even broke into the top 4 most played games, exceeding well over 260,000 concurrent players on Steam, as well as it being the most wishlisted game on Steam. Think about that for a second. And all this success, which only came from the open beta by the way, was created from a team of merely 100 people. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this sounds very similar to how Apex Legends blew up in the beginning as well. Minimal marketing, absolute love from the community, numbers that strike literal god fear into the hearts of major developers. So if it's that similar, Embark Studios knows what an absolute goldmine that they have on their hands here. A literal billion-dollar baby. Games that follow this particular trend with massive amounts of numbers and positivity almost always lead to an unparalleled amount of success, a massive and healthy, thriving community, with the company themselves getting cut beautiful amounts of money. Everything about this game, from the vibe, the atmosphere, the gameplay, the sheer and utter destruction, and most importantly, the movement. The Finals has so much to offer, and even though there are already so many movement shooters out there, one of them being most notably Apex Legends, the Finals took unrealistic fun movement, combined it with FPS realism, packed it all into a game show to the death, and it was handed to us in a beautiful wrapping. From things like dashing, zipline Spider-Man swinging, and absolutely berserking your way through walls and opponents, movement isn't the only thing so special about this game. There are 3 classes for you to currently choose from, and I wouldn't be surprised if they added a 4th for release. Just talking about this game gives me a childlike excitement, as if you bought a new game from the game store as a kid. Light, medium, and heavy. These are the 3 classes for you to choose from, with each of them bringing their own unique playstyle, feel, and individual potential for utter mayhem during gameplay. Light class. The light class is heavily catered towards movement, with the ability to dash as well as having access to the sniper, SMG, and even a sword. It is safe to say that people won't see you coming whether you're sniping from the air or from a distance. Even though the light class doesn't have as much health as the others, you can even run through people with the sword whilst you're in cloak. The cloak ability is specific to the light class and, funny enough, is really well balanced within the game. Medium class. Now, the medium class is probably the most balanced definition of balanced. Coming packed with both decent health, it literally allows you to output some very decent damage, all whilst being able to heal your allies at the exact same time. The medium class lets you run around and lifeline regen your allies, which is great for people playing light and heavy classes. You will be able to run the assault rifles with this class, which is an absolute W. It's also great for those close to medium ranges. If you are maining medium, you are vital to the team, but the serious amount of complete destruction and fun we're all looking for in this game comes from the heavy class. Probably one of the most profoundly destructive classes within the game. Want to blow shit up? Grab an RPG and a light machine gun. Maybe you want to feel like the Hulk while doing so. Well, with heavy, you can literally run through buildings and enemies, and on top of that, you can even fry anyone with a Flammenwerfer. Sorry, flamethrower. A flamethrower. Overall, the Finals is looking to have a seriously off-the-rails release. A game show to the death. Collect the most amount of cash and secure the dub. Something so simple, yet never thought of in an FPS, and so fun all at the exact same time. If the devs just execute this correctly and work more and more to have this game perform in an out-of-beta state and into its continuous final form, well, then we're definitely going to have something to distract us while we all wait for the release of Titanfall 3.